Hey guys, Mrs. Kaufman here. How are you? So I want you to go through this quick check and try and do the problem. So go ahead and pause the video and see what you can do. And here are the answers to those problems. How do you determine if two numbers or expressions are equal? This is our essential question of the day. What will we learn today? To solve an addition equation by using models and by using the subtraction property of equality. Here's our standards. Okay, please look at the vocabulary, inverse operations, and subtraction property of equality and write those in your notebook. The subtraction property of equality is an important key concept. Basically, it's saying that if you subtract something from one side of an equation, you have to subtract it also from the other side of the equation for the two sides to remain equal. Here's an example. If 5 equals 5 and you subtract 3, then you also have to subtract 3 from the other side so that they remain equal. If you just subtracted 3 from one side, that would say like 2 equals 5, which is not true. So, and that holds true in everything. So this is with numbers, and then here we have it in algebra form. So if we subtract 2 here, then we've got to subtract 2 here to make the sides remain the same. And that's where we see x equals 1. Think of it kind of like a balance or scale. And if you had something on one side of a balance and the other side of the balance, if you took something off, it would become unbalanced. So our goal is to keep everything in balance. Okay, so we need to solve 8 equals x minus 3, and then we need to check and see if we're right. The first method, we can use models. We're going to model the equation using counters for the numbers and a cup for the variable. Okay, so 8 counters equals 1 cup and 3 counters. We're going to remove 3 counters from each side. So then you have 5 counters and 1 cup left. There are 5 counters remaining. The other way is to use symbols. Write the equation and subtract 3 from each side, and 5 equals x. Check. 8 equals x plus 3. Write out the equation where you substitute your answer for the variable. 5 plus 3 equals 8. Using either method, the solution is 5. Ruben and Tarek have 245.5 downloaded minutes of music. If Ruben has 132 minutes, how many belong to Tarek? Write and solve an addition equation to find how many minutes belong to Tarek. In words, Ruben and Tarek have 245 minutes of music. Our variable is t for Tarek. We're going to draw a bar diagram, and then we're going to write an equation. 132 plus Tarek's minutes is 245.5. Okay, do you see that? 245 is the whole thing. Part of it is 132. The rest of it is t for Tarek. 132 plus t equals 245. If we subtract 132 from each side, we'll see that t equals 113.5. So 113.5 minutes belong to Tarek. Let's check and make sure that we're right. Does 132 plus 113.5 equal 245.5? Yes, it does. A male gorilla weighs 379 pounds on average. That's wow. This is 181 pounds more than the weight of the average female gorilla. Write and solve an addition equation to find the weight of an average female gorilla. Okay, in words, 181 pounds plus the weight of an average female gorilla is 379 pounds. W is for weight. Show a bar diagram and write an equation. Okay, so the bar diagram shows us that 379 pounds represents the whole thing. We know part, which is 181. We don't know this part, which is W, or the weight. 181 plus w equals 379. 181 plus w equals 379. Then our goal is to kind of get w by itself. So we're going to get rid of 181 from this side, so we've got to subtract it from this side. W equals 198. So an average female gorilla weighs 198 pounds. Let's check. 181 plus 198, does that equal 379? It does. So how did what you learned today help you answer the question, how do you determine if two numbers or expressions are equal? Okay. By using inverse operations, that's what it's called, kind of when you subtract from the subtraction property is an inverse operation. So an inverse operation kind of means that you do the opposite. So if you have 131 and you take away 131, you're doing the inverse. You're doing the opposite. Okay. Solve x plus 4 equals 17. Okay. Thanks. I hope you have a good day. Have a good afternoon.